You're checking out the Opie and Anthony Show. Of course, the theme song from The Wire.
Which changes every year, by the way. They have a different version every year, a different person singing it every year.
Yeah, I just noticed that because I'm in the second season. It's a bluesier version. And who do we got in studio, Jimmy?
Tristan Wilds, who came on in season 4.
Yes, sir.
And I couldn't be happier right now because Tristan and I were talking during the break, and I'm like, were you a fan of the show before you actually auditioned and got on it? And he said, yeah, man, but when they killed Stringer Bell, and up goes another one down. He immediately.
I'm trying to avoid spoilers right off the bat. And I already know Omar's going to be dead eventually. Stringer Bell is going to be dead.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Jimmy's just getting me back because when we talk about Lost, Jimmy will throw his headphones and cover his ears so he doesn't hear spoilers. So he's getting whatever.
So yeah, that really was. Now you play Michael
Yes, sir, yes.
in season 4. And how did it come about that you got the part? Because you had a great role. It's almost like in a weird way, like a Michael Corleone thing, where you start off as this sweet kid, and you become really like this person capable of murder, like really detached.
Yeah, well, actually, when I first auditioned for the role, I auditioned for, don't laugh, I auditioned for the role of Randy, the snitch.
In season 4 there was a little snitch who was certainly not the character you are.
So I auditioned for him, and I guess they liked me enough to call me back for another role. So they called me back for the role of Michael, and they picked me. But playing that role, man, it's just like you said. It was like a kid who seemed like he was just real cool, real quiet, just take care of his brother, all of that, and wound up, I don't want to spoil nothing.
No, just go. I'll let it rip.
Wound up killing people,
Yeah.
So
There was a great scene because he plays a guy, the mother's a drug addict and horrible, and the stepfather's in jail, and the stepfather comes back. And the reason that the character Michael gets into the working for this guy Omar, Marlo Stansfield, who becomes the new kingpin, is because there's No, I don't want to get into it, but once Stringer Bell is dead, just things change.
I'm going to take a walk down the hall.
And all I'm going to say is this: just look forward to Marlo. You got something great to look forward to.
All right, very nice, good.
And there's an implied sexual abuse. He's got a younger brother, and the stepfather comes back to jail, and there's an implied sexual abuse that you obviously suffered, and that the kid's about to suffer. And so you go to these guys and basically give them you if they will kill him.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It's a really intense. It's one of the best beatdowns ever filmed. Was when
Yo, I remember I was on set that day, and I got to watch it. Man, like just watching Benga, who plays Chris, just watching him beat down that character. Everybody on set was just like, "What? Wow!" Like, how do you? And because they had like a doll to act like to show his face because they couldn't really beat down the real guy.
no, of course not. He beat him to death.
So they had a doll there, and when I tell you, Benga wrecked this doll's face, like his jaw was pushed back into his mouth. It was crazy.
And there's a character Snoop who's actually her name is Felicia Pearson, I think, and she was a real Baltimore problem. Like, she was like, I don't know if she's a drug dealer, but she came from the streets of Baltimore.
For real?
Exactly. Yes,
Hardcore.
They based her character, the character of Snoop, off of her real life. She got out. She went to jail for whatever she did, and she got out, and she changed herself. So then they were interested in her story, so they bought it, and they bought her with it, so she could sell it.
And there's
Damn.
And you have a very powerful scene. You might want to cover your ears.
Yeah, please.
I already read it on instant feedback. That's another one down.
First, before I get to that scene, let me ask you a question. When Omar got killed, I was shocked that they did it.
You were?
Couldn't believe. Yes, I wanted a gun battle. I never realized what a Hollywood ending horse's ass I am until they shot Omar, and I'm like, all right, look. Bring him back next week. I'll forget it ever happened. I'll let it go. I don't need consistency. Just make him walk around again. You couldn't believe he was dead because it was before it was supposed to happen.
You were hoping for a dream sequence.
Of course, I would have expected.
Oh, okay, that was a dream.
Cheesy,
right?
Or if he would have just got up and went, I'm back from the dead. I would have went, it could happen. It could happen. We don't know any better.
Yeah. You just wanted him back.
No, honestly, I didn't think it was like, it didn't shock me because last season when I went to Marlo and I asked Marlo for the thing for the the thing that he did for me.
Sure, yeah.
So
which was to kill the stepfather. Yeah.
Exactly. His boyfriend was looking out the window, and his boyfriend said, "Who is that?" And Omar looked out the window and said, "He's just a kid." So that shows you that he just underestimated kids.
Yeah, very true. Very true, because there was and that little kid, Kennard, who shot him. Oh, was he a psychopath? You could just see it in the scenes. Wasn't he like calling him a gimp when he was limping? I mean, he was shot by a little kid, and you never did you know that was coming in the script or no?
Honestly, I didn't know, but when I seen it, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised at all because of how he didn't back down and how he was following him during the I think it was episode 8. You just knew that something was going to go down.
Well, see, to you, though, it was just Michael laying there. Like, look at Michael laying there with the makeup on his head. For me, Omar had just been shot. Yeah. It ruined my week. I was really, really, but it also, to me, saved, like, the integrity of the show is completely intact because that's what had to happen. He's not a superhero. He's just a guy who robs drug dealers and who's as vulnerable to being shot as anybody else. And it really, to me, made the show. That cemented it as one of the greatest shows I'm ever going to see because they killed a guy I loved before they could have let him go on.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And then you in the week after, what a great scene you have in the truck.
Oh boy.
With you don't want to cover.
Opie.
He shoots. Now, did you know you were going to wind up killing Snoop or no?
Honestly, I didn't. And when we did that scene, I kind of had a little problem with it because my first season, me and Snoop, we really got close. Like, she's my big sister to me. Yeah. So to actually go through with that scene, it took a lot out of me.
Yeah.
There was the line to me that it was such a great way to do it. They just know how to kill people. I know we don't have that one. I should have asked you to get that one, but I didn't think to get it. Was Tristan and Michael and Snoop are in the truck, and she's taking him to be killed.
Oh boy.
And
yeah. Oh boy.
And he knows it. So he pulls a pistol on her. He's like, "Pull over, I gotta take a leak." It's like The Godfather when Clemenza said, "Pull over, I gotta take a leak." And she's a hardcore lesbian and she doesn't play games with guys. And you're pointing the gun at her, and then she just kind of looks away and she's like, "How's my hair look, Mike?" And you're like, "You look good, girl." And you shot her. And it was such a bizarre piece of dialogue. Do you have any idea what they were doing? I have my theory, but I want to hear yours if there was a reason for that.
I mean, I honestly don't know. You'd have to ask the writers, but my theory behind it is like, this is Snoop knew what was going to go down. They knew what they bred, because that's what they did. They bred me to be this way. So they knew what they bred inside of me, and she knew what was going to go down. So her last moments were trying to feel like a girl. So how does my hair look?
Yeah, something nice, right? Just wanting to hear something nice. Wouldn't it be funny if you asked the writers, and they're like, no, she was just concerned about her hair.
She improv that.
Yeah, she
just wanted to know how her braids looked. That's it.
Hey, it was wanting to feel like a girl, though.
I got a general question, because I really don't know your role. Not yet, but general question. A lot of people, actually, this is coming in, a lot of the actors don't seem like actors, like they're real street thugs. What's the deal with that? Did they get a lot of guys from the hood, or maybe saying the hood is pretty white to me. I don't know, but from the streets,
there are a couple. I can't say that they don't, but there are a couple people that are from the streets, and there are a couple people who are actually actors who are just tremendous actors, like people who you would think like Wood Harris or the guy who plays Stringer Bell, Idris Elba. You would think those dudes, oh my God, these dudes are actually killers. Oh my God, Omar's really a killer. When really you meet these guys in the street and they're real actors. They're like professional actors. They do this.
So you're acting since 2003. I was reading in your bio.
Yes, sir.
And what do you got going on now? I know you have other projects. You're gonna get a lot of work out of that.
Praying to God, but I just finished a movie. It's called The Secret Life of Bees. Me, Dakota Fanning, Alicia Keys, Queen Latifah, etc.
Very nice. Wow, Bubs has entered the studio.
Andre Royo has just,
No, it's Bubs, bro.
Yeah, I got lost. I got lost in the streets.
And looks like the rehab did you well, man. You look really good.
he has all his teeth. You look great.
You look great.
That's the first thing I did when they yelled cut was go brush my teeth. Get all that makeup off.
Can I ask you a question? I've been wanting to ask you this too, because a buddy of mine was in season 1 and 5. Was there a story where did a guy actually, a drug addict, actually approach you in the streets and hand you drugs?
Yes.
What was that? Cause
it was during the first season, and it was in the later part of the show where I had been out and about doing a couple of scenes, and I was at the bench looking really messed up. Just found out that Key McGregor's got shot and wasn't going to be there, and I guess my emotions, or I emoted it. I was walking back to my trailer, and some fellow junkie just came up to me and was like, "Yo, you look like you need a hit," and handed me a tester. And I was like, I didn't even know, you shake so many hands, you say what's up to people. He gave me a handshake. I went in my trailer, looked down, I was like, "Oh, I just got the street Oscar. I just got the official. You're doing okay. Everything is doing good. You official junkie of the streets."
And you, by the way, besides being a brilliant actor, man. I mean, it's frightening how good you are. You blog. I love the fact that you were irritated, and you should have been irritated at the way. Has The Wire ever won an Emmy?
No, we never been nominated. That's not. It's not even about the winning. Like we just want to go to the table, get some free champagne, get a swag bag,
and just a little acknowledgement that you're doing something pretty cool.
It just from the first season to the fourth season, it was just weird. We really loved the fans and the audience that's out there. Really are true dedicated fans of the show. But it was just a little weird that from every paper, from the Village Voice to the Times, was like, we're the best show on television, or we're one of the best shows on television. But from the SAG to the Golden Globe to the Emmys,
sometimes even the NAACP,
never been nominated for best ensemble, best drama, nothing.
I wonder if it's
That's
because
so weird. What is that about? You think?
No, we could talk all day.
Yeah.
No,
so many reasons, so many ideas. Conspiracy theories, or just reality of it's. We're talking. Our topic is too real, or too in your face and abusive, or is more than 4 black people on the screen and they don't know whether they're watching HBO or BET. They get a little confused. We don't if you don't shoot in New York or LA, you're considered outside the margin. Like if you shoot in Baltimore, it don't really count. Like when it's just so many. Maybe the judges are just a little too old for the show. They don't really get it. I mean, there's so many different.
It's mind-boggling to me. I mean, I can't believe with the work that's been done on the show. I mean, it's sickening to me. I'm not saying that. I'm sure Kiefer Sutherland is great, but it's terrific. He saves the world. There's no way. There's no way that sissy is better than you. There's no way. It's an impossibility that he pulls off more than Michael Williams. I know the Cop's my favorite cop is Bunk. I have to say he's my favorite.
Wendell Pierce. Yes.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite scene that you've done in the series?
That I've done?
Yeah.
That's a hard one, man, because Bubbles, I don't even remember. Just being so into it. If I think back to favorite scene that really bugged me out, where I knew this character was crazy and the writers was wild, would probably be when I was on the roof and I really fished down with the little fishing line. I grabbed a bag of drugs from a tire and I fished it back. And I did it, and I felt real Little Rascals. I felt real like, yo, this is crazy. And then to talk to one of the creators, Ed Burns, and everything I've done on the show, the real, Bubbles was a real character, and he said that this is how desperate or how fiend out they were. They were geniuses on how to get high again.
The scene is you're on a roof, Bubbles on a roof, and the drug dealers don't hold the dope. It's always like in a tire somewhere, so they can't get possession. So he fishes down with a take it easy. I like pictures too, but it's like flash.
No,
it's like he chased Diana to her death a few years ago. Is Bubbles on the roof, and he lowers this fishing wire into.
It's a great scene.
Oh, you saw that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
He picks the dope up.
Yeah.
And it's just, and then and they see it.
They see it, and I run downstairs in the high, and I see these other cats getting beat up,
horribly beaten.
And it's just
they
like,
thought it was him.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm just like, I'm like, oh, that's really messed up. I'm out. So it was just deep on understanding that. You look at these people and you're very dismissive about their mentality because you just think, they're junkies, But there was some street smarts on how to survive and how to make sure you get high. They put some thought process to it.
Absolutely.
It was amazing.
Bubs, I'm a new fan. I'm on season 2. Jimmy turned me on to it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. The Wire. And I finally got it for Christmas. And I last night alone, I watched 3 episodes. And all I want is for you to clean up your act and just walk off into the sunset.
Me too.
You get close.
I've been wanting to get clean for a minute just to get a girlfriend. I've been trying to get clean.
Because you're so lovable as this character. Like, you just want good things to happen for Bubs. And I just know it's not going to happen. I'm not dumb.
Well, let me just say that Bubs has a few really bad things happen to him. It doesn't go well for Bubs.
I understand that.
I go through it a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah.
But let's just say that things may look up at one point. I don't want to blow it for you or anybody else that hasn't seen it, but I've been watching it, so let me say I'm really happy with the way things are working out for you in season 5.
Thank you.
Well, now I know it lasts till season 5. That's good.
Well, you have to think, though, would they have Andre out to impress if he didn't? They would never, like, there's no way they're going to bring out, like,
no dead guys do press.
Yeah, you can't. What now? Also, it says you question, because I do the same thing, and Ope admitted that he did it. You question every year this new storyline they have. Like, what are you guys thinking? Yeah. And then when did you finally realize, like, oh, okay, they kind of know what they're doing?
You never do. You never do. I mean, the 4th season when Tristan and all the kids came through, we were at first. I mean, the Wire has always been on the cusp of being canceled. Every year they go, at the 3rd season when we was done with the Barksdale storyline, they said the show's over, guys. Find something else to do. I moved to L.A. The show was done.
Wow.
I was testing. The show was My Name Is Earl. Tested for that, and it got to a point where they were like, "Oh, you gotta choose." David Simon called up and was like, "Listen, you can do what you want to do, but I think we're gonna get picked back up, come back down, or go do your thing." And I said, "I'm staying with the Wire," and they're like, "We're going with the kids," and I was like, "Oh, they turning this into Fat Albert. Oh, no. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is a mess. We screwed up now." Because you just feel so, you really don't want to disappoint your fans. And it's such a show that the fans were dedicated and really sat through and watched every episode. And they get, to watch the storyline from the beginning to end, you feel, like, you invested this time into the storyline. So when you switch it, you feel like, oh man, they're gonna be disgusted.
Yeah.
And when the kids came through, it was fantastic. And even after the 4th season, where we blew up, where the critics were like, oh wow, this is the best show on television, one of the best shows on television. Come to the 5th season, you still doubt it, because then I went to Ed Burns and David like, how do we do better than 4?
Yeah.
And these guys, I don't know if it's the money or the intelligence, they just have an ease about them. And he was like, well, better is the enemy of good. We never try to get better. We just try to consistently be good. And you're like, whatever. Just write some amazing stuff. Because I didn't even think the newsroom stuff was going to be great. I was like, we're going back into the office, a different office.
Yeah.
It's going to be talking heads. And then, as I watch it, I'm a fan. We have a cast of like 40. So I don't know what everybody else is doing. So when I sit down and watch it and I look at it, I'm like, these guys are brilliant.
Were you sad Omar got shot?
Was I sad? Yeah, of course. It's so many different reasons, because it's like, a fellow colleague. Sure. First of all, it's an actor who just lost a paycheck.
Only 2 episodes, though. He didn't miss a lot.
Yeah, you just feel it. You just feel like, oh wow, man. Somebody else got shot. And Omar, me and him have a connection, because me and him were both like on the cusp of our own storyline. It was like the bad guys, the cops, and then it's Omar and Bubbles who are going through their journey. One is Robin Hood, and one is like the junkie Little John, running around. We both were told at one point in the beginning, we don't know if you're going to be around. Maybe 7 episodes, maybe. And 5 years later, still be working. So when he got shot, it was just like, oh, they got you too. Nah, yeah, you got done in by the Wire. So yeah, it was sad.
We have to wrap because
unfortunately we
get shut off at 9 o'clock here. the season finale, the series finale, which I hate the fact they're ending it, and I respect the fact they are, because they're going out with still a brilliant, powerful show.
Well, you got to think movie now.
With who, though? They're all dead.
Bring them all back.
What happens? This is going to be like a bunch of 3 guys left in The Wire.
Yeah.
I hope you make it through the final. I certainly hope you do.
Thank you very much, man.
It is this Sunday night at what time?
At 9 o'clock.
Oh, 9 o'clock. I was
if you
up by
miss it
90
at
minutes.
10:30.
What's that?
And if you miss it at 10:30,
And it's an extended.
Yeah.
It's longer than the hour.
Is it really?
They
it's
give
an
us-
hour and a half.
I'll be watching episode 5 of season 2. So
All right, no doubt.
Well, you got the newbies out there too, getting the box sets
That's
and,
it.
and
As
getting turned on.
long as they're watching.
Yeah,
As long as
right
they're
on.
watching.
And we also got to promote The Wire and All the Pieces Matter, right? Features 5 years of music from HBO's acclaimed drama The Wire. The CD includes 35 tracks featuring local Baltimore artists, 4 versions of the opening theme song, including the Tom Waits original, and dialogue from the show, available from Non-Such Records.
So the series finale this Sunday, 9 o'clock on, of course, HBO. Tristan, Andre, I'm a tremendous fan.
Yo, thank you very much. I'm a fan of you too. Don't sleep. Lucky Louie was a hot show. Yes, no
Damn.
doubt.
Thank
Me
you.
and my wife
Gets
watched that. Like,
props.
that is us all the way. Look at this show.
Thank you. The critics ignored us, too.
They did, man. They did. You had a hot show, man.
Thank you very much.
They should have got a second season.
They
Don't you
definitely
think?
should have got a second season. No
Hey,
doubt.
you just made his not
My
even
year,
day, his
yeah.
year.
Because no one
You
I
have no
love
idea.
ever recognizes me. It's always like, all right, you'll sign this for you, stupid. So thank you guys for coming in, man.
No, thank you for having us, man.
Thanks.
Absolute pleasure. All right, guys, we're off to XM.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what we say. And here we are at XM Satellite Radio. We love when we invite the guests over to XM and they actually take us up on it. Sometimes like, yeah, whatever, dude. You know how fucking famous I am? I don't need your shit.
We get a polite handshake, and they just say, all right, and they take off, and they leave it to publicist.
And we got 2 very famous guys that said, you know what? I don't have the attitude. I want to come and do more radio, which I think is really cool.
I just feel like, this is Andre from The Wire, Bubbles, and I just love talking to our audience. They sat there for five seasons and watched us. So when we get a chance to talk, we're going to let them know how we feel. We're going to say we appreciate y'all. And this is like, being on cable right now, because I can say fuck you and, and I won't get beeped.
No, you're not going to get beeped. It was funny when you mentioned that you were a fan of Lucky Louie. Jimmy's whole attitude changed. And then we wrapped up the first radio show, getting ready to come over to XM. And Jimmy's just hanging with these guys like, he's just hanging with his HBO colleagues. All of a sudden it wasn't like Jim, the radio guy, is like, me and the boys, we're going to hang and just kind of talk shop in the hallways of
He's
K-Rock.
part of the HBO fam. Because Lucky Louie, like a lot of shows in HBO, it was pushing the barrier on what you see on regular television and taking it to the next level and being honest about a lot of relationships, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
When, when I have sex with my wife, every once in a while she says the same thing. Okay, let the doves go.
Yeah.
Let the doves go. Let's get it done. I got Project One Way on TiVo, and I don't want to. I need a little energy to make me a sandwich.
Just get it over with already.
Yeah, I mean, Lucky Louie to me was like a real honest relationship, with the cursing and with the attitude of, it's a struggle. Falling in love is hard, but staying in love is a whole lot harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had just an amazing conversation in the halls of K-Rock before we came over, and I was asking Bubs, if he's getting more work, and I don't know. You said some really cool things actually, because you're part of the Sarah Connor Chronicles. You had a couple episodes there, right?
Yeah, I had a couple episodes, and Sarah Connor, like I said, television has a lot of great shows that serve their purpose. That some shows entertain, some shows just make you forget about your problems and laugh. And coming off The Wire, you read these scripts from David Simon, Ed Burns, George Palacano, Richard Price. These guys really articulate a character's arc with many layers, and you see different sides of a character. So when I went to Sarah Connor Chronicles, I read the script and I'm happy to be working. It's great working with the green screen, and Terminator is a classic, in my generation. But I can't for the life of me understand why my character keeps shooting at the Terminator with a with a 9mm. I know it doesn't work. I know it doesn't stop the robot from coming. And every scene, we just start popping them with a 9mm. Like, one day it's going to change. And,
you're like, oh, shit, this would never happen in The Wire.
They change it up. They would do something that would explain why he's shooting it. Maybe he's a little stupid, and you realize that. And, 2 seasons before, you find out he didn't go to school. And,
In The Wire, Omar would fuck him and then take his dope and fucking shoot him.
Teach him how to whistle. And
then you mentioned Law and Order and said, it would be played out different in the
Law and Order.
Well.
Law and Order has been the staple for any East Coast actor on the come up. You had to do Law and Order. They really implore, give us a job. They really make sure that actors are always working. But doing it, there was a scene where the cops come in. It was Law and Order: Criminal Intent. I'll put you on blast. It was a scene where the cops come into my house, and I have a loaded gun, and I have a murder weapon in my house. And when they come in, I see the hallways clear, so I ran out. And they yelled cut, and they were like, "Look, we're not as smart as The Wire. Okay, when our cops show up." Just put your hands up and get the handcuffs on. Forget about a chase scene. Forget about the rights and all that. Just get arrested.
But I can get out of here.
Unless you put a patrolman right outside, I'm gonna run. And they were like, "Yeah, well, no, we're not doing it. Just move on. We have to get to the lawyer part of the show."
Yeah.
But yeah,
people are bitching because we started this show late. But the reason is we forgot we had another show to do. We're just hanging out with these guys in the hall.
Yeah, just fucking
rapping,
chit chatting. We have a job to do.
Like, oh yeah, we have somewhere to go. Shit.
Yeah, we got people that pay for subscriptions, and we're just like, fuck it, put them in replay for a few minutes.
Yeah, we're chatting. We're chatting with like guys we admire.
It's actually got to be hard for you because, like Tristan, like you played a guy who just became bad and started shooting people.
Yeah,
It's got to probably be harder. You won't be as typecast, I think, because you were so defined as like a drug addict, man. It's like. It's gonna be hard. Are you be typecasted?
I'll tell you why he's not, because like he looks completely different. You know what I mean? Like he's all cleaned up and has a different look than what you're used to from The Wire.
I do, but the rule of thumb in the movie and television entertainment is you're only as good as your last role.
Exactly.
And the weird part is, I like to take credit and really understand that yes, I played this character that was very, very difficult, very hard, but we all did. Tristan is not a killer. Snoop is, everybody are not doing things that they used to do in their acting. And, for people outside, when they see me, the first thing they're excited to have my teeth. They're like, you got your own teeth, and your skin looks so good. I mean, it's a compliment to my job as Bubbles, but yes. After the first season, the first fucking scripts I got was cocaine, methane, ecstasy. The business, they don't really gamble as much as they should, or they bet on sure things. If they know you play a good junkie, they're not going to offer you the cop role. They're not going to offer you a lawyer.
Exactly. They do the same thing with me, like all the time. Like I can't tell you how many scripts I've gotten or how many people ask me, why don't you play this gangster in this TV show? I mean, you play such a good gangster on The Wire. Why don't you come over here and shoot a couple people for us? I'm like, come on, like I want to be
you want to try
college
something
student.
Else out, right?
I want to be something else.
You can't tell how many scripts you've gotten. I can tell you how many I've gotten. None. I've gotten none. Could you play a fucking anything? I've gotten none. It's audition like the rest of them, shithead. I get
basically
nothing.
What Jimmy's saying. He'll play a pervert for 100 different people. 100 different shows. I mean,
I'll never get a script as a real actor, man. I admire real actors. It's fucking.
I don't know. You were a real actor. You did a great job in your show. I don't.
They said just basically be a douchebag, and which was kind of easy.
Kind of him.
Just being me.
And no stretch there.
But comics typically are fucking awful. We had one of our comedian friends, Rich Voss.
Good.
And Chaz Palminteri comes in and does the show sometimes. And we had Voss surprisingly do a scene. I just watched it on YouTube last night, or on A Radio. And it's just great to watch your friend attempt to act with a real actor, and he was awful. He was even worse than I thought.
We should explain this further. These guys would appreciate it. So we tell Rich, because he keeps telling us how he auditions, and he's not that good of an actor, and he gets nerves and stuff. So we set up a scene where he would just read with Jimmy from a Bronx Tale.
Right.
But he doesn't know that we got Chaz right outside the door.
Oh, man.
And all of a sudden, at the last second, Jimmy does the old switcheroo, and Chaz walks in to do Jimmy's role. This guy, Rich Voss, I don't know if you know him, just pretty much shit his pants like, holy fuck, you guys suck.
I read with Chaz one time. I did a table read. It wasn't an audition. It was just a table read. And I was... Fuck, you've never seen worse acting. I mean, I was so nervous and bad. It was like, it was like me, but I couldn't even be me. I was just horrendous. I had to do 3 different roles. So I was like, if I'm nervous reading off a script, Voss is going to be petrified.
Yeah, absolutely.
Standing there. So it's very intimidating to work with.
It is. I experienced, on the come up. I mean, I'm an actor. I did a little theater. I was doing like bit parts here and there on my way. My first studio film was Shaft. And I booked the job, and I was happy, and I walked in, and Sam Jackson is, he's sitting there, and it had to be my worst experience of my life because, I'm Cuban, and I couldn't get my accent right to save my life. I was so nervous, and my accent sounded like I was French. My father and my whole Spanish side of the family just ostracized me and said, you're a disgrace to the family. You sound like a nervous Frenchman.
Oh, you're Cuban for real?
I'm Cuban for real, but you couldn't tell in that movie because it was just the experience of just walking on the set, just feeling the bigness of the movie of a movie for the first time shook me out my pants.
How was Sam Jackson?
Great. I mean, he's just real natural, real cool. Like, what you so nervous about, man? You're making money. Just
cool.
Act, dog. Just act, and you just don't believe it's that simple. All of a sudden, when you look at him and think about his path and his career, it was just that was one of the great things about The Wire first season when everybody came for the first table read. There was no big star. Like, you just recognize cast from auditions or cast walking around, maybe a movie here or there, but everybody was just like, what up? You think this show's gonna make it? I don't know, man. It's a pilot. You got paid, right? Well, listen, whatever it makes it or not, at least we got our check. Let's move on. And I think we saw the first episode together, and we didn't think the show was gonna make it. We thought it was just a bunch of talking heads, real slow. We didn't believe that the audience was gonna really accept a cop show that was stressed out. For one case, 13 episodes.
Yeah, no kidding.
I thought they were so used to the whole hour remedy of it being over in an hour to have them sit there and really, watch that kind of a pace slow down, that slow. We thought they were gonna, cancel us. And
speaking of which, you were saying some interesting things about the Omar character. Like everybody wanted to be Omar.
Yes, I mean, Omar. I mean, fuck, and playing a gay guy on TV, you get nervous. You be like, you think about typecasting,
right?
And, so a gay guy on TV, you're not gonna work at all unless you play gay, And Michael K. Williams, I knew him from Brooklyn, a great actor. And he jumped on board, and I was like, how you feel about playing this character? And, first thing, of course, is I got a job. I got a job. I'm gonna do the best I can do. Whatever happens after that is whatever. I'll deal with it when it comes. But he was nervous, and then I think David Simon and Ed Burns, the way they introduced the character was brilliant because when he first came out, he was just shotgun, trench coat, blasting everybody. And I remember when the episode started showing, I walk around. All my boys, everybody's like, Omar's the toughest dude on this show. That's my man. I'm Omar. I would do the same thing. And then the 4th episode, when he tongue-kissed his man, I walk around like, you Omar, right? That's you, right? And they were like, I didn't know about that, man. Nah. But it was too late. You already committed and said, you was in love with Omar. So you had to really accept, everything about him and realize,
just everyone going around, man, I wish I was Omar.
Yeah.
Tough guy.
Right. They all just dropped their jaw like, oh my God, it can't be. Why did you do that to him? It can't be.
Hey, did they tell him that they were going to make him gay? How great is that if they give him this fucking great role and then in season 4 right? Wait, there's a typo in here. It says I kiss him.
Do I kill him? Is this kill? This can't be fucking kiss. Nah, they told him. I mean, they were. It just when I first got the audition for The Wire and they told me they wanted me to come in and audition for a junkie named Bubbles. I didn't want to do it. I thought it was like Pookie. I thought it was like, Huggy Bear. Not that they weren't great characters, but I just felt like I don't want to play into that stereotypical role of being this cliche comic relief. And I think a lot of actors felt, when you met David Simon and Ed Burns and our first producer who passed away, Bob Colesbury, when you met them and they talked about the show, you kind of realized that they were taking a different approach, that you were not, you were not going to be playing just a one-dimensional character. And I think all actors just fell in love with that.
Yeah.
You know, they fell in love with the opportunity to really play a three-dimensional character.
Where's the red hat?
Man, you know, they got retired, man. They got retired.
Do you have it, though?
Back to
I
work.
let you have it?
I don't. I had it, and we had like a big big
elephant,
fundraiser.
yeah, the
for
elephant.
Ella
Oh,
Thompson.
no
Ella
kidding.
Thompson Fund. Yeah.
And we auctioned it off.
They sell the hat?
Oh, I would,
Yeah.
I would,
They sold the
how much
hat.
did the red hat go for?
I don't even remember.
That was
It went
a
from-
big thing in season 1 for the
Yeah.
people that aren't, you know, totally.
It went from the
down
red.
with
It went
but-
from the red hat to the goddamn shopping cart. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
all of a sudden. That was my the signature. You
Wait,
hear that
you
news?
used the red hat in the 4th season also, right?
I used the
For
red hat.
Bodie and Lil Kevin, right?
Lil Kevin, that's right. It came back. It came back. I mean, the red hat. You know, again, you know, for the first season when Bubbles is trying to identify the bad guys to the cops, he put the red hat on.
The
them.
cops are on the roof watching, and he's going, whoever I put the red hat on,
That's the main
is
dog.
the fucking main guy in the crew.
Yeah, take a
And
pic.
you know, I laughed at it. I thought it was crazy. But then talking to Ed Burns, who knew the real life Bubbles was his CI. Everything was true. Everything that Bubbles does on the show is something that Bubbles did in real life.
Oh, did you ever meet the real Bubbles?
I didn't meet him. He had passed away before I got
okay.
cast.
Yeah.
But you know, it was amazing because they said that, you know, the real Bubbles was like 6'4", 200 pounds, like a big dude. And when I auditioned, they were like, you don't have the physical, you know, look of Bubbles, but you have the essence, and you're doing a great job. So they cast me. And you know, later on, I wonder what the essence was of the junkie that I had. I was fiending for a job, and you know, I brought that into the room. But
Came into the room scratching. Listen,
like,
guys.
you gotta hire me. Come on. I can't go back home to my lady, bro.
I throw the subtitles on, by the way, for The Wire.
Yeah,
Really? Oh yeah, it makes it way more interesting because I just think you guys are messing up words and stuff, and like, no, damn, they're speaking a crazy language here. The
Yeah,
language
that
of the
Baltimore
street.
slang, yeah.
Baltimore
Yeah.
slang and just that youth,
Hey,
the
you
streets.
know, we take the Amtrak down to Washington D.C. every once in a while, and it goes right through the heart of like that area of Baltimore.
yeah.
And wow,
Yeah.
have you guys walked around there?
Yeah, I mean, we shoot right on location. Like when we say we shoot on right on location, like people actually invite us in their house to have chicken and potato salad with them.
Yeah.
Like we're right on location. Like everything you see on the show is everywhere we're at.
Yeah, we drive on the train. You just pray that they don't stop and those doors open. I'm not even joking because it's like, wow, it looks like it's just abandoned streets, but you see the you see the satellite dishes and a car here and there, and you're like, people are really living this life. Living in this area.
The first time I heard about the Wire being in Baltimore, I've been down there to do the improv, and which is no longer there, and it's in the Inner Harbor. So you think, it's this nice little Inner Harbor area, and then you're like, oh yeah, there's more to Baltimore. And a little friendly Inner Harbor with a little seafood. Have a crab salad, would you?
Yeah, Baltimore. I remember the first time, you know, I'm from the Bronx, and you know, you get this attitude of I've been around any kind of neighborhood. I'll adapt. I'm cool with it. And I went to Baltimore, and when the first day of shooting, you know, we went to actual, you know, projects with all these trailers and all the cops and all this attention. Drug dealers was pissed off. They were shooting in the air like, yo, you're bringing too much fucking attention to my business, dog. Get the fuck out of here. What's the why? What is that? What are you guys doing? And they shot in the air, and it was definitely a relationship that we had to get with the city.
They were shooting in the air while you were filming?
Yeah, they was like, yo, just get out, man.
I heard one story from Bodie, J.D. Williams. He told me that there was this one scene. I mean, I think you want to cover it. The one scene, it was Marlowe's people versus Avon's people, and it was just a big shootout. They was all shooting down the street. They told me that actually, like, when the gunshots stopped, they were like, all right, we don't, like, our guns are stopped shooting. Why is there still gunshots? And there were people, like, really down the block, really shooting back because they thought they were getting shot at. So it was just a big gunfight, and everybody's like, all right, get down. These are real gunshots.
Is that when a little kid got shot? When a little girl got shot?
Yeah, that's
a little
it.
boy?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow, this is really uncomfortable. I think it was one of the season opening.
I learned more spoilers in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, like, I go from the other place to here, and I decide I got to go to the bathroom. I'm in a stall, and I'm still getting spoilers. Master Poe walks in and gives another one. I'm like, I'm not even safe in the stall from the wire spoilers.
Yeah, Master Poe is is the guy outside.
Our trained killer.
Yeah, he's kind of got like Omar's coat.
Yeah, see, he looks very scary.
And Omar's lifestyle.
Yeah.
He's our security guy. He's a major problem. He's a really a murderous guy if he fights.
Yeah.
And he was like a little kid when I walked in. Why is my favorite show? And then he starts talking to me about a scene that I discussed with Tristan. I'm like, well, you're listening to the interview? We covered that, you fucking lunatic. Yeah. So I'm surprised he didn't. Did he hassle you guys on the way in for pictures or any of that stuff?
No.
He gets too excited to actually listen. He gets excited that we have certain people on our show, but he doesn't. The excitement is at a level where he doesn't actually listen to the people he's excited about being on our show, if that makes sense.
ADD.
Yeah. Tristan, are you related to Jay-Z? What's up with that? I know you're in a... Well, I got to bring it up. I know you're in a Jay-Z...
Yeah, I'm in Jay-Z's video, Rock Boys, but nah, I'm not really related to Jay. He's like an uncle to me, but
it's coming in
really
a lot, so I just had to ask. You just know him pretty well.
Yeah.
It's not a bad guy to know, right?
Yeah.
How much
Not a
ass?
bad guy at all.
How much ass? I have to ask. Since the fucking... I mean, you're a married man.
I'm a married man. I'm not even allowed to watch Jay-Z videos. It's just all over. Why hurt myself?
So, he's 19 years old, Tristan, and you'll be 20 in July. I know.
No, I'll be 19 in July.
Oh, you're only 19?
Yes.
Oh, well, somebody should be fired for that shitty prep sheet.
I'll be 18
July what?
right now. July 15th.
Okay. I'm almost excited because I'm July 19th, so I figure we have something in common.
I'm July 17th.
Yeah, Kansas in the
That's
house.
crazy now.
That's very weird.
You know how it is. All three actors of similar ilk. Yeah, you know, men of the HBO family.
That's right.
So, do you have a girlfriend, or are you out just anything that fucking walks?
No, I'm not boning anything that walks right now, but nah, I don't got a girlfriend.
Okay, so let me rephrase that. Anything that's not fat that walks. Now you're choosing whether you have a bona fide part in a hit show, and especially the Jay-Z video, which would probably get you more ass. Because I imagine like a lot of chicks with big tits are not watching The Wire as much as fucking 40-year-old fucking mediocre men like myself. So the fucking chicks are going to come from the Jay-Z videos.
I don't like to discuss politics at the dinner table.
There you go.
Very Godfather of you.
Very smart. Very smart. How'd you get into acting? Would you get through school or just like?
Yeah, actually, it was through school. You know, I was doing a whole lot of school plays and stuff. I saw my brother. He started acting first. He was on a couple things. You know, a little bit of TV shows. He was on the movie Bullet.
Wait, was that with Mickey Rourke?
Yes.
Okay. Tupac, yeah.
Tupac, and actually that was Michael Caine's. That was Michael Caine's first movie.
Oh, really?
Yep, it was his first movie.
Tupac's brother or sidekick or whatever.
It was his brother. It was his brother.
Oh, okay.
So after I seen that, I decided I wanted to start getting into it too. So you know, I did everything I had to do. There was a talent search, and right on 42nd Street, and thank God they picked me.
He was in a movie that got great reviews. Not a lot of people saw, unfortunately. Half Nelson.
Yeah, Half Nelson.
That was one of his first major roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a great movie.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Ryan Gosling was no joke.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. When I tell you, he killed that role, man. Like he.
What's the movie about for the people out there? Just
for the people out there, he's Ryan Gosling plays a teacher in a middle school who's struggling with a drug habit, and he befriends this little girl who's getting pulled into the drug game.
Well,
so
she catches him getting high.
She catches him getting high.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing how they become friends, but they become real cool at the end. And I don't want to tell too much.
An urban take on Miss Crabtree. A different look at a teacher-student relationship.
Yeah, he's getting high in the locker room or something. She happened to be in there or whatever and catches him. And now she knows a dirty little secret, and he's like this teacher that everyone just adores.
Yeah,
and then she's getting pulled into the drug portrayed like he was saying. It's a really good movie, man.
And isn't it funny, like when you look at racial differences, like you mentioned Bullet, and I go, it does star Mickey Rourke, and they go Tupac.
Yeah, right.
But I actually I don't even think I've seen the movie. I remember it.
I was ready to say Steve McQueen.
Oh wow, that's true. Oh, we have black, white, and old.
I gotta ask you guys too. Before you came in today, I was talking about Maury Levy, the lawyer.
Yeah.
What's Maury's first name?
I think so, right? Or Levy? I know Levy, the white lawyer, the white Jewish lawyer there that's getting all the guys.
Maurice
off.
Levy.
Yes. Is he like that in real life? Because I was telling Jimmy, if he actually came in for an interview, I would probably jump up and try to strangle him. I don't like him.
No.
I hate that
real
guy.
Sweet dude.
Really?
Yeah, just
soft spoken and just like
that's funny.
When they yell cut, he'll be like, I don't know, was that a good scene?
Yeah.
Was it alright?
Did I do okay? And like,
Really?
Yeah.
He
Wow.
plays such a prick, man.
Isn't he Nina's?
He's one of the producers' brother.
He's close. Yeah,
Real close to the family, but he's a great dude, man.
great man, just great.
His character's great because I hate him more than anyone on TV right now.
Yeah, he really is a fucking swarthy. Oh, that's a great scene too. In that Omar scene in court, when Omar calls him out because he's also all profiting on the drug trade.
Yeah.
That's a great scene in that court scene. We're talking about that a lot.
I got a shotgun, you got a briefcase.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing. Yeah.
What is the worst tie ever put on television? He's wearing in that scene the fucking worst tie. YouTube, and I know you don't want to buy the DVDs, but if you want to just watch scenes from The Wire, like if you want to watch this great scene, of course you don't because you haven't seen it. Where
oh boy,
where Tristan where Tristan fucking blasts Snoop. I mean, I saw it. And I wound up going online when I was by my computer just watching that scene again and again. It was such a weird gentleness in this murder. I mean, that's what's so good about it. Whereas The Sopranos was so fucking great, but The Sopranos never moved me. I was telling them these guys, like, I never cried watching The Sopranos. Not that I ever did watching your show.
You need some tissue?
You didn't get a little watery eye when they dragged Adriana in the woods? That was the first time.
Absolutely.
When they grabbed her out of the woods.
Oh, that was brutal.
I got a little watery
eye.
eye.
That was brutal,
No,
man.
only because you didn't fuck her. I was like, I have to see her naked once. No, I didn't. I'll tell you what made me, the times I got misty-eyed in The Wire. When Omar got shot, I'm not going to lie, I fucking was very depressed. And there's a scene that you have in a rehab, which was fucking, it was only a moment. It was like at the end, they always end well. It was fucking horribly depressing. I'm like, ugh, why do I like this show? I feel like shit. I'm just sad. I want to curl up and hug somebody.
The writing is, the writing has been fantastic. You just, after the first season I watched, I read the whole script. I was like invested into what's going on. And after the first season, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna read my parts because I love sitting in front of the TV and watching everybody else and see what they're gonna do. And it's a part of, it's a chance of being part of the show and being a fan at the same time. And there's just certain scenes where I just was like, when Kima Greggs got shot, and saw how everybody else reacted. Yeah, I almost broke down in tears. I mean, there's so many moments where Randy.
Yeah,
when he's yelling at Seth, you're gonna look out for me.
Yeah.
You're gonna stand up for me, and just seeing his. I mean, it was just. There's certain moments that you just you look at it and you just get dragged into the reality that there are people out there who live this life. Yeah, who this is the choices that they were given, and it turned out badly.
You ever want to go to the creator and go, come on, a couple more years. What the hell are you doing here? Come on, we're doing good.
We got it nice here. Come on, help me out.
I don't because 5 years of a junkie's enough. I'm ready to get cleaned up. I'm ready to stay clean. But David Simon he's a novel writer, man, and from day one they saw it in a 5-season arc. Yeah, and he's very happy that everybody started catching on. But to him, it loses its potent if he drags it on. If he just says, okay, I'm just doing it for because the audience wants it. It's not hitting his point. He wants to get it, right? Tell it, and then say, you think about it. You put that book on the shelf, and then whenever you want to go back to it, you take it off the shelf.
It's out there,
yeah.
Well, by killing off Omar, he admitted that he did that in a way like he's like, and it wasn't some hipper than the room shit. He was like, this is an angry show. This is not necessarily about giving you the big shootout you want or whatever. It's about. It was just very realistic that they did that. And as much as I hated it, to me, it's like it cemented the integrity. It's like I didn't want that to happen, but it kind of had to. You know, so there's no chance. It's like killing Henry Blake after fucking first season.
MASH.
Yeah. Fuck him.
Well, we got we got to take a break, and we should get you guys out of here. We really appreciate you coming over for another segment.
Yeah, hell yeah,
Thank
man.
you very, very
anytime,
much,
man. Anytime.
Are both of you guys in the finale?
You gotta watch.
All right, I'll spoil it. They are because they were both in the one before the finale. So if all of a sudden they weren't there, it would just seem really weird.
Yeah.
So like, what happened to Mike and Bubs? How they just went on vacation together? Contractual issues. They're in fucking St. Bart's while everybody else gets shot in Baltimore.
They're on a gay cruise.
Exactly. They felt so bad about Omar.
They celebrated. We had a dance. We had a dance.
Wait, guys, whatever.
That's why I said the season
I was going to go
finale-
with the gay cruise a little longer, but
The series finale is this Sunday night on HBO at 9 o'clock, and you said it's an extended one.
Yes, sir.
Hour and a half.
Oh,
wow,
excellent!
nice.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of the show, if you're not a fan of the show, go out and get the DVDs. I know we spoiled every fucking
absolutely.
angle
I think
for
I'm going to
you.
watch Sunday and then just save 30 hours of viewing time.
You'll have to watch up to that. When I watched The Sopranos, I knew Big Pussy got killed before I ever saw an episode, and I still love his
thanks.
character.
You know, I haven't seen one episode. No, I think it's better, though, at this point, if you haven't seen any of The Wire.
Right.
Because now, I'll watch it, because I'll watch all the box sets, and I won't know who the hell you've been talking about, which will be kind of cool.
There you go.
So, because now Opie's watched enough where he knows the names.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it's going to be like, because he's just be going, oh, shit. Fuck.
Although to me, Tristan is like just a stranger. Like you could be like any dude in the studio right now, and then his part's gonna pop up and go, God damn,
that guy was in the studio.
Son of a bitch! I'm gonna be really pissed off.
And he's such a sweet boy when he first comes on. He's so nice and pleasant and eager to learn some boxing. And then what a fucking murderous motherfucker he turns into.
But he's been smiling the whole time, so I assume that smile turns into a pretty serious look, right?
It's great, yeah. So it's a really,
Right on.
really hard, not a bad guy, but just a guy who becomes a killer and is comfortable being a killer. It's really a great transformation.
And I should have said that because I know you from Half Nelson. You did a fine job, so fine job.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having us.
All right,
man.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Cool. This was
Absolutely.
a
Very
nice
cool.
thing for us. I appreciate it. We'll continue in just a bit.